What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we got our buddy Ace with us from Vanguard Elite. He's going to help us go over the passive abilities. We're just going to basically click on them and give you a little bit of feedback on each of the passives. Before we do that, let's give away a code for 100 free gold. And this video's winner is Mike Raptor, our buddy Mike. Welcome. We did this before. We're going to try to do this video a little bit quicker this time. I'm going to let Ace give you most of the feedback since I've given you my feedback on it through the streams and the other videos. We'll get a separate person's perspective on the feedback. So, Mike, I'll send you a message. Congratulations. If you want to win one of these codes, guys, hit that subscribe button. Got to do that. And then every stream and video that you like and comment on will get you into running. So we gave away this one from the last video we posted. Regular video, not the passive video, and Mike was the winner. But like I said, you can be the next winner. You just gotta comment and leave a like, and you'll be entered in the running. So like I said, we got Ace helping us today. We're gonna click on these and go over them, and a few of them have changed, and then we'll let Ace give you some of his feedback on them. And you know, if I have anything to add to it, we'll go to it. So what's up, Ace? Welcome back to the channel, man.
How's it going?
All right, so the first one, we're just going to go in hangar level order of the hangar level. We'll start with the F5, and we'll put chapters in this for you. So if you want to click on a plane, you'll be able to skip through and watch the video at that chapter. All right, so the F5 first. Let me share my screen here so you know Ace can. Let's see. The problem is I have to do it like this and share my screen. This way he can see what we're looking at if he wants to. All right, so we got the F5 passive ability. Go ahead, take it away, buddy.
Yeah, I think is a little bit, I would say a little bit controversial. I like the idea. Basically, if you have a flare in the air, you reduce the damage from radar missiles by 50%. It's helpful, but the point of flares is to dodge missiles, not get hit by it. So it kind of feels like a waste. It's like, I don't know. I'd rather dodge the missile within a flare than flare on impact to take less damage. So it is better than nothing. But maybe if you don't flare in time and the missile's already incoming, you could survive a hit from an interceptor. So it's better than nothing, but I typically am not a fan of abilities that require you to take damage like a missile hit for it to work. Flares are meant for dodging, not taking the hit.
Yeah. Well, all right. 1 second. I don't need. I'm like about to tell them that we're not flying right now, like it's a real squad. Look, guys, we got a full squad here on the playtest, 30 members. So, all right. Yeah. So the F5, like I said, I agree with Ace on this one. It's yeah, I think it'll help you, but I feel like this one could have been kept, where it was on the last one. But so yeah, when you have a flare in air, damage from radar guided missiles is reduced by 50%. So it basically if you're flaring a interceptor, won't be able to.
Well, that might be good for head-ons. If you pair it with the barrage, it might be good for head-on. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll test that one out later. See how good it works. But we'll have that in another video coming up for you. So, or maybe we'll even live stream. We'll see. All right. So F100. When you get a kill, the nearest enemy to you is marked for 10 seconds and deal 25% increased damage towards the marked target. Yeah. This one they kept the same, and I really like it.
Yeah, I really like this one too. Especially if a lot of people are hiding or being evasive. It'll, mark the nearest person, which I'm assuming if everyone's far away, it'll mark the nearest person, which is nice, and you deal extra damage, which is nice for this plane because I've seen a lot of people use kill streak on this plane. So you can use like the streak armor combined with kill chain to get a lot of kills really fast, probably with disruptive flares as well. So
Yeah.
it is really cool. I'm pretty sure it's only marked for you, not for your team.
Yeah, it's just you, yeah.
Yeah, but for this plane and how it's flown, it really fits it well, and it's really nice.
Yeah, I tested this one on the live stream a lot, and like a couple matches, and I really like it. So, all right, is that it on the
Yeah, I think
F100?
it's I think that one's good where it's at. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good. So far we got I'm gonna keep notes here too. So on the go back, let's go back to the F5 real quick. You think that one should be changed, or because I'm gonna use these as notes too to so F
Um, I mean, I personally think it's underwhelming, but at the same time, it's not a big deal. I,
okay,
yeah, it's good. It's okay where it's at. I think it's underwhelming because you have to get hit by a missile, but
yeah,
it's all right. I would say it's balanced ish,
okay,
but
all right. So we'll just leave that one alone then. Okay,
yeah.
M3. Gain bonus to cannon and missile speed the faster you are flying. Cannon speed increased to additional 400 meters per second, and missile speed is increased to an additional 400 meters per second. So your cannons and missiles will fire faster um, the faster you're going. Now, they did buff this one. I don't know if you tried this out yet, Ace. I did try it. I feel like this is one I already marked down. I feel like they should have left this one alone. It's the missiles still fly a lot faster, and it was really good before, but they I mean they nerfed it. I apologize. They didn't buff it. They nerfed it. It's the only one that we actually had a note on in here that I feel like they
They
should put it
nerfed
back.
this one?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
still fast, but not as fast as it was. We'll test that one out
It
too.
they should have kept it fast because those manuals can only fire one at a time,
Yeah,
and you have to hold the lock. So manual missiles, in my opinion, always need a speed boost. So they did boost the F-106 missiles, then they nerfed it in the passives, and then this one again they nerfed it. If you
it's
can
about
only
half
fire
the speed, like or that it
Yeah,
than
if
what
you
it
can
is
only
normally.
fire one at a time and you have to hold the lock, and another thing that's important is you're in a light fighter, right? And you're moving really fast. So if you're in a light fighter moving really fast and you have to hold the lock, you are flying towards the plane, right? You're moving fast, flying towards the plane. You have low health. You're closing the distance. You're getting closer, which makes you vulnerable to the enemy team and vulnerable to the enemy at shooting at you.
Yeah,
So you need to shoot that missile, have it hit, so you can maneuver, dodge, and flare. But if they made it not as fast, I
yeah,
mean, I don't like the idea of making a light fighter fast and making it fly towards the enemy, and you have to hold the lock. So if they shoot a missile at you, you either have to tank the missile hit, which you'll probably die in a light fighter, or dodge and flare, and your missile's wasted. So
yeah.
same thing with the F-106. It makes you fly towards the enemy while you're holding the lock. So for this one, it needs that speed boost. I wish it was back to the original one.
Yeah, well, we're gonna put
Um,
a note in it. Like I said, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, this is a second playtest on the channel, on the passive abilities, and the first playtest it flew at supersonic speed. Like you'd hit it and it would just flew at supersonic speed. It was really good. It was almost impossible to evade. But me and Ace tested this, not on video or anything, but Ace was able to evade it if you timed it right. So I put a note here. We're going to ask them to put that one back to the original speed. So, but it's still good. It's still good, but we'll test it out. Like I said, we might do it live. We'll see. It'll either be in a video or live, but it was in the last live stream. If you want to watch that, the last live stream on the passive abilities, we did try it out, and it's still good, but it flies like a quarter of the speed it did before. So all right, so that's the M3. Oh, I forgot to screenshot it. Sorry, guys. Maybe I didn't forget to screenshot it, but I'll do it just in case. Gotta screenshot these so we can post these up for you too. All right, and then next one is the A6. They kept this one the same, and the first 8 seconds of your afterburner have a 50% top speed bonus and 100% acceleration bonus. Cooldown 20 seconds. So you guys know this is probably you guys been asking what's your favorite one or the best one. I feel like this one has helped the A6 a lot. The A6 is really tough to fly because it's so slow. I really like this. It's really well balanced. They should leave this alone, and it was really good on the A6. What do you think, Ace?
no, I agree. I think it's perfect where it is. Uh, it really helps because when you first start the match, the main thing in my opinion that the A6 is good at is the ability. And a lot of times everyone rushes in with their planes and then they get hit with a bunch of missiles and you're still way back at the spawn with your ability. and you got to try and convince people to stay back. So with this, it allows you at the beginning of the match to get back in and use that special. And if you die, you spawn and you can get back into the middle and use that the radar jamming.
Yeah, it gets you
So
back in the fight.
I really like this. That's one of the big things that was always frustrating with the A6 is you have an ability that requires people to be close, but they always fly away from you. You have to keep begging people to hang back, hang back. So this is perfect where it is. I really like it. Um, and it's just enough, but it does really help. Especially if you're trying to go for rearms or healths, or if you're trying to climb, it's really helpful for that.
Yeah, agree 100%. It's going to make the A6 really fun to fly. So, all right, MiG-21. Hitting an enemy with cannon triggers their flare cooldown 11%. We did try this one out too. It basically makes them not, if you hit them with their guns, they can't flare. So, which is really good. I feel like this is really good on the MiG-21. You guys know I really like the MiG-21. My icon is the MiG-21. And, with the thrust booster, basically, if somebody lets you get behind them, they won't be able to flare. And with the MiG-21, that's a lot of the problems is with disruptive flares and stuff. They hit that, and then, you run out of boost, and your guns overheat, and or you're out of missiles, and they get away. So I like this one, and I think they should keep this one exactly where it is. What do you think, Ace?
Yeah, I agree. I like this one. The MiG-21 is low health and it's got to get all the way up close to you, then shoot its guns, which are low range and they're low damage. But what this would do is kind of prevent you from obviously flaring their missiles, but also stopping the disruptive flares. So this is a really interesting one.
You can win
The
head-ons with it.
the interesting thing is the way it's worded. It triggers the flare cooldown. So what I think is going to happen, and we'll have to test this one,
I did test
is
it. They just weren't able to flare.
right. So I think it doesn't use a flare or reduce the flares you have. It just spins that little like just it just
It's
pauses
almost
it.
like they had just flare. So like
Yeah. It just activates the
yeah, it
cooldown
activates their
basically.
cooldown. So basically they won't be able to flare. So it's like
So
if they flared, right, and they already have a cooldown too. I believe we tested it. It added to it, so like it doubled their cooldown. So yeah,
so if you hold guns on them for a long time, we have to test it on like an A10. Would it keep increasing or would it reset and then
no,
reset
I
or would
think
it
it
like
just triggers it. I did test it, and it worked really good. Like the people that I got behind weren't able to evade. I'm not sure if it was bots. I think it was bots, and bots flare like crazy, and that's why it was good to test this against bots because bots are like the best flares in the game, right? And when I got behind a bot, they just didn't. I just shredded them. I hit that rocket booster, the boost, and just held my guns on them, and they weren't. And then I could hit them with a missile. So yeah, we'll test it out. Like I said, but it's good. Yeah, we'll test it out and see what the cooldown is if it triggers it. I do know that the one guy I did get behind when I was testing on a live stream, he flared, and then I hit him a bunch of times. Like I actually like tapped the guns. If you guys were watching the live stream, I tap 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 tap, and then he was able to flare again. But it was like 20 seconds later, or whatever it was, or 15 seconds later. So it was really good. What do you think?
yeah, so we'll have to definitely test this one out.
Yeah, we'll test that out. Let's see. I'm going to make notes too. I'm going to write tests. We had to test the M.III. I'm just going to make a note here so we know what to test and what we don't need to test. The A6, we don't really need to test it. It's still the same. Um, and I played a lot of them. All right, so that was the MiG-21. Now the A4. This one's exactly the same too. Within 200 meters of terrain, enemy radar guided missiles have 50% reduced range. So with the cool engines, it's the same as it was before, but all missiles are 50%, which was good. I flew this on Countdown on the live stream, and it was really nice. So I really like this one.
I do think it is a little bit strong because right now the A4 already is one of the top 5 planes in the game, especially with the agility and damage. And then on top of that, it has cool engines. And then on top of that, it's kind of giving it stealth basically. I think it's a good ability, a good passive. It fits the plane. I think it's a little bit strong, but I wouldn't mind it if they kept it.
It's just, yeah, I think it's, so you haven't tested it. Well, maybe you did test it, but I tested it on Countdown, and it was really nice because then, like, the whole point before, like, flying the A4 with the cool engines, right? Well, that it's good, but the J20s can't just spawn kill you, which is nice. 6 kilometers away, they were still able to get me, so your range is cut in half. So if they're close, they can still lock onto you. It just made it like that extra bit of time to get the cover. It's kind of what I seen from it. So, but we'll test it out. I think the A4 is good. That's just Ace says change it maybe a little bit. It's good, maybe a little too strong. I think it's good. But yeah, I liked it on the A4. But yeah, the A4 is a top meta playing in the game. So maybe 25% reduced range might be better for that. But we'll see.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if they kept it. I'll just say
Yeah,
that it's not bad. It's not too bad.
yeah, it's not the worst. So, but it is annoying when you can't lock onto an A4 with your heat seekers. But anyway, so that's the A4, and the next one is the J35. I don't know if I screenshot it. I have to feel I'm double screenshotting all these. I guess I should just go through and do it at the end. So that's probably what we'll do. All right, so the DRAKEN. We didn't test this one. Need for speed. As you continue to fly straight, top speed increased by 20%, acceleration by 50% or 75%. That one's still the same. It's if you turn it all, you lose it. So yes, it's good, but I feel like the DRAKEN. You guys know, I think it's the worst plane in the game. Um, I don't know. It's nice to have that flying straight, but I feel like what I feel like is it should be like with if you should be able to turn a little bit without losing it. That's just me. I feel like maybe if if you have to turn a little bit so you don't hit a rock or something, but I don't know. I feel like this one should be 20% acceleration, or top speed by 20%, and acceleration by 75%. I feel like maybe they should have had this one almost like the A6 for 8 seconds. You have that or something, but that's just my opinion. What do you think, Ace?
Yeah, I think, and actually, I'll check my. I'm gonna check my. I think they nerfed the top speed on this one. I'm gonna check the ones we took before, like the screenshots of the other ones,
Oh,
because
okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they nerfed the. It used to be. Uh, yeah. It used to be top speed 40, acceleration 75. So yeah, they nerfed the top speed. Now, what I will say is before it was good. It did take a couple seconds for it to kick in, which was annoying, and you had to fly straight, but the top speed boost was 40%. So I thought that was okay.
So they nerfed
Now
it.
they nerfed it from 40% top speed to 20%, which to me, I mean, like I said, it takes a couple, like 3 seconds to spin up. And then once you're there, you can't move. Flying in a
Yeah.
straight line doesn't make sense. You want to fly low to dodge missiles, stay off the radar. You want to dodge terrain, dodge missiles. I think they should have it to where it kicks in faster and probably like it allows you to turn at like 5 or 10 degrees a second. Like it lets you turn a little
Yeah,
bit
that's what I
without
mean. Yeah, you
crashing.
can turn a little bit. Yeah, five to
Or
all
what
right.
they can do is they can have it to where like the faster you move, the higher your turn rate is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or no, I'm sorry. Like the less you turn, the higher your speed is. So you can have it at different like levels. Because on different passives, like they have things at like different levels. Like the faster you move the M.III, the faster the missile moves, right? So what they can do is the lower your turn speed is, the faster your top speed is. It doesn't have to be like one speed. So like if you turn, you'll lose more speed. If you keep turning, you'll lose the passive more and more. Just I think it's underpowered. They nerfed it, and I don't think a passive on a J35 should have been nerfed. It's my opinion.
Yeah. So
Um,
either fix it or put it back to where it was. Yeah.
yeah. So make it better or put it back to where it was, because that delay it's really it just makes it feel clunky, and you have to like wait 3 seconds for it to activate, and then you can't move after that. And it's like, If you fly in a straight line, you're either gonna fly into the ground or go up and get shot. So in my opinion, it feels underwhelming, especially because it's on one of the most underperforming planes in the game. So
Yeah.
needs a buff.
Okay. All right. The MiG-19. Same as it was before, when not detected by enemy radar. I think maybe was it 75% before or something, but it's gained
Yes, yes, it was
50%.
75.
So they nerfed this one, which is good. It was probably a little too OP before, and I think now it's very well. I think I was one of the ones that said it was, or maybe it was 100% before, but I felt like it was way too strong on the last playtest, and now 50%. The guns are already so strong that I mean, what can you really do? I mean, me personally, I felt like the MiG-19 they shouldn't have messed with the guns. The guns are already so strong. What I think maybe the MiG-19 could have used was I don't know. I mean, maybe you
I
have an
think,
opinion on it, but I know.
I, yeah, I think one of the things it probably could have used is some sort of fuel special or
Yeah,
flare special. Because 3 flares is not a lot, and its fuel is the lowest in the game. I think it's like 9 seconds. So the like 3 flares is low and the really low fuel. Its damage is its shining light. That's the number one thing it's good at is damage. So it's a little bit like and it's kind of counterintuitive because they actually nerfed the farmer gun damage. They
yeah,
nerfed it by like 6 or 7%, and now they're gonna rebuff it. So it used to be
yeah.
75, now it's 50.
Well,
In
this
my
is you got to be
opinion,
behind them. So, but I feel
well,
like if you're behind
yeah,
somebody anyway, they're automatically dead in the farmer.
exactly.
So,
Especially when you have a 39 turn rate, the highest acceleration in the game, higher acceleration than
yeah.
F-16, 39 turn rate. And if you need to, you could hold your afterburners extra long if you're chasing
So maybe
someone.
it's good they leave this one because you're pretty much already dead if the farmer's behind you anyway. So
Yeah, I
the
mean,
farmer's
in
so
my opinion,
strong.
I know,
Yeah,
in my opinion, the a damage one doesn't suit the plane. I think any other one, an agility one would be strong, but better than this. And then I think the best one for it would probably be a fuel one because it runs out of fuel really fast. So something with fuel or something with flares would suit it better and help it be more balanced. Instead of taking the things it's bad at, like fuel and flares, and making it better, it takes something it was fantastic at damage and making that higher. So in my opinion, it's just gonna make the farmer even stronger. I think it's I think it'd be a great ability for a different plane, but this one, it's probably one of the worst planes in the whole game to buff its gun damage. I think it's gonna be wild. So
yeah.
that's just my opinion.
So yeah, either yeah, yeah. I mean, flares, adding more flares to the farmer might
Because
make.
imagine a farmer gets behind you and you blow up like really, really like almost instantly because they're gonna hit you with a beam rider.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Uh,
Well, yeah. That one's
Actually,
con.
let's stop by the A4 one last second.
Okay.
I went back to double check any changes. They did nerf this from 250 meters to 200 meters. So I would actually say this is balanced now.
Okay.
And we might need to test it to make sure it's at 200, but I'm pretty sure it is good to go.
I did
200
test
is
it.
good.
Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. And I did test it. It's any terrain. Like even the tube on countdown counted as terrain. So that was good.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think Daredevil's 250 meters, right? Actually, can you click that Daredevil?
300.
Or
Yeah.
300 meters. Okay, so it's even less than that. It's 200 meters.
So
So that's
yeah, I
actually
feel like
really
that's
close to
balanced.
terrain. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's balanced. I'd say that's
Remember,
balanced.
if you guys didn't watch the live stream, I kept it's 200 is really close. I kept clipping the terrain too, so it's good. Like it's going to require
Yeah,
skill.
I think
So
that's good. Yeah.
all right. So the next one is the Delta Dart. As your speed increases, your missiles gain up 200 lock range bonus plus a small speed bonus. Um, I think this is stupid. Me personally, I fire my F-106 missiles on the way in, and you don't need more range on them. The F-106 missiles are meant to be fired up close. They just flare your missiles, and then you get in the fight and you have no missiles. So I think this is absolutely stupid on F-106. My personal opinion. You know, the speed bonus, a small speed bonus on the missiles is probably good, but nobody's firing the missiles. I mean, from further away. So to make them even further away, like I actually had to learn how to fly the 106 and not fire my missiles from far away. That was just me personally. So I don't know what you think, but I think
Yeah,
it's stupid.
I agree. So the problem with manual missiles is they move too slow. which means you have to hold the lock too long, which means you're vulnerable to missiles. Like if you're in a Raptor, you fire the missile, then you can turn and flare right away. The problem with these are you fire two in the air and you have to hold it forever. So you can waste two missiles, or you can get hit by a missile, and then your missiles are probably flared. So with this one, the original one gave it a big speed boost. The words are not specific, but the words in the beta at the time was missiles fired during the speed threshold also gain an additional 200 boost to the missile flight speed.
Yeah,
Now,
which
it's
was
just a
good.
small speed bonus. So I would prefer the description to be more specific. Small speed bonus, that's a little vague. But I do think for manual missiles, they need to fire faster. So the M3, they nerfed it, but at least they fire a decent bit faster. It's better than nothing. On these, now if this ability was stronger, this passive was stronger, you could um it would be decent at taking out interceptors because you can fly up because this plane is cruising altitude. Then you could fire two missiles, and if because you know how the interceptors go really, really high, at
Yeah.
2,000 meters, you can lock on to that, MiG-31 that's way up there.
And
Or
2,000 meters
maybe a
it
J-20.
is like 2 kilometers, I think. So if you're using kilometers, I believe.
Yeah, so it adds that. So you use the speed and the cruising altitude to get up that extra range. Now, if it had a big speed bonus, which it should, then it would be great. The problem is that you're flying too fast towards the enemy. So you're going to be flying up with all that speed towards the enemy because you have to hold that lock. You're pointing towards the enemy. You're going to close the distance too fast and you're going to get blown up. So, in my opinion, it needs to be buffed so the missiles can fire faster so you could
Or
fire
even just
and
give the
dodge.
cannons longer range instead of the
Yeah, the,
missiles.
the cannons need less spread, more
Yeah,
effective
just
range.
it should have been
So,
something like increased to the cannons, not missiles. So
yeah. So like I said, if the ability was much, much stronger in the missile speed, it would be good. But the missiles also don't have the turn rate to hit targets that far out, and especially like interceptors that move fast. And it feels really underwhelming to the gameplay. Like especially after they nerfed it. I think it's very underwhelming. And like I said, if the missiles moved really, really fast like the M3, I'd love it. But unfortunately, it just I don't.
yeah,
It's not that good.
yeah. I'm making a note here. Put bonus because I'm gonna send some notes in there. Either put the bonus towards the cannons or put it back to where it was, or back, or put it the missiles faster without. You don't need the lock range.
Yeah, the problem with the lock range is that means you have to hold the lock even longer. You know how annoying that is? How
Yeah,
vulnerable you are when you're holding that lock? Like
yeah,
imagine if like a MiG-31's up in the air, right? You get all this lock range. You have to hold the lock for like 9 seconds instead of five, and you're flying towards them fast. You're out in the air. You're gonna die, and your missiles are gonna lose track. You're just gonna get missile spammed. You know what I mean?
yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's the we'll put a note in there. Again, hopefully they'll actually take our advice. We should have put more notes in there last time, but it's all right. We were doing way too much. All right, so that is the 106. Let's see, and next one is the SU-22. They did nerf this one from 95% HP to 50% HP, which I think is really good. Um, the SC-22 is a lot stronger, and what this is going to help you is with the butt guns, right? So it's a lot of times, you with disruptive flares on there with the butt guns, you're like, oh, I'm trying to get the butt gun kill, and you get like the guy down 90%, and you die. So I think this one is really well balanced, my opinion, and I think it's good that it's 50% because everybody was clipping their wing a little bit to get down to 95%, so they have this ability right away, and now this is going to make it to the point where you have this ability like to prevent you from dying in the 22, which using it on air sub in storm break going through the tunnel, it's nice that you can actually hit your disruptive flares and use your butt guns to get the kill. That's my opinion. I feel like this one's perfect, and they fixed it really well. What do you think?
I agree. It used to be 95, and I remember leaving feedback in there. It's like I don't think anyone's gonna be panicking at 95% health in a Su
Yeah,
22, you know?
yeah,
So I would, of course, everyone was clipping their wings, bumping their bellies on the freaking terrain on the way in. They were like, just and the thing is, it's I like this one especially because now that they adjusted it, which they should have, it um it allows you to have more skin in the game, right? If you're under 50%, okay, now you get this bonus because you can still bump the ground to get under 50 to, let's say you have disruptive flares equipped. If you want to, you can bump the ground and then fly towards a health, dodge, dodge, dodge out in the open, then grab the, like on countdown. You know, the health's out in the open.
Yeah.
If you need to get to that health, believe it or not, an interesting tactic you could do is slide on the ground till you're under 50, then go out in the open and grab it. Because here's the thing. You could dodge all those missiles back to back to back, then grab the health.
I wouldn't
So,
recommend that because you might accidentally mess up, but it could be one to
well, you
use.
might run
Yeah.
out of flares, but I
Yeah, and
like
you'll be
this
running out of fire.
because
I like this
you could,
one.
yeah, you could still manually hurt yourself to activate it, or if someone gets behind you and is hurting you, you can save your disruptive flares until you get to under 50, then hold the button down for infinite disruptive flares, and then use your butt guns,
Yeah, it
rear
allows you
gun,
to get that kill
front gun,
behind you. Like it,
whatever you need. So I think this one's really, really nice, especially because it suits the attack plane of like staying alive. So
yeah, and
yeah,
it
I
fits
like it.
with the butt gun. Like for example, like if an A6 or an A4 or an A10's attack plane's behind you, then butt guns just don't do enough damage to them. You end up dying. The whole point of the butt guns is somebody gets behind you, to don't get behind a C-22. But if you're an attack plane, I know it's okay. I know I can get the kill before, at least kill him, before his butt guns kill me. So I think this is really good. It's going to help you. It's the Su-22 survive. So that's just me. I think this one's perfect where it is. With the nerf that they did, 95 was too strong. 50% is really well balanced. So anything else on the Su-22?
No, I really like it. It also would be interesting if you're an interceptor or any plane and you see it has low health, is it worth trying to go after it? Because it can just spam disruptive flares, dodge all your missiles, butt guns. So it would make the plane very deadly and hard to kill. So it's really interesting. I like it.
Yeah. All right. So the GR3 Jaguar. While over 50% HP, you get 25% increased damage to your weapons, and while under 50% HP, you get 10% increased turn rate. So I believe this one's exactly the same, and it was really good, really well on this one. You get your gun, your damage, your weapons are increased when you're high, and then when you got full health, and then trying to get away with the special abilities, helps you survive. I think this one really well suits this Jaguar. What do you think?
So they actually did nerf it.
Oh, they did nerf it. Okay.
Yeah. So it used to be 20% turn rate. And I actually am not too much of a fan of well, here's the thing. So the GR3, I think it needs as much turn rate as it can get, because right now the GR3 turn radius is really, really bad. So the if you look at the turn rate, it's 33, which is just really low, and the ideal turn speed is 514 miles an hour. Now I do miles an hour because I'm an
Now,
American,
was the
but
gun damage the same 25, or was that
yeah, yeah, that was the
okay?
same.
So we'll put a note, put back to 20% turn rate. Okay.
Yeah, so the thing is, and then like the ideal turn speed is 514 miles an hour. So you have to fly an attack plane all the way up to 514 miles an hour just to get the highest turn rate at 33. That's really, really low. Your turn radius is now massive. You're moving too fast and your turn rate's too low. And actually, the ideal turn speed on the Raptor, the F-22, is 503 miles an hour. So you're saying you have to move the ideal turn speed faster than the Raptor to get 33 turn rate. And that means it really needs a turn rate buff, and because the ideal turn speed's high as it is, it wouldn't be too strong. So in my opinion, they got to make that. I think the turn rate going to 25% even would make sense. They
20 or
they nerfed
25.
it,
Okay.
and I don't think 10%. I don't know. I don't think you'd feel much of a difference because the point is you're low on health, you're trying to escape, and with the base turn rate being 33, it feels underwhelming. Like I said, you gotta make it faster than the Raptor turn rate, and just to get that 33. So in my opinion, it's got to go back to the at least 20% in my opinion. But yeah, the
All right.
GR3
Well,
does not turn
we
well.
put a note on there. I do like this passive.
I like it.
I
Yeah.
like this for the GR3. The GR3 is not one of my favorite planes, but I do like flying it, and so I like the increased damage, and then with the increased turn rate when you're trying to get away, it kind of helps this plane a lot. So, all right,
Yeah, I like the dynamic play because you'll go up front and deal damage, and then when you're low, you gotta evade to get the rearm or evade to get the health. So I really think it fits the plane very well.
yeah, all right. So that was the GR3. Now the MiG-23. When your wings are swept back, gain missile damage resistance based upon speed up to 25%. Is that nerfed compared to the last time?
That is very nerfed, yes.
Okay, because I felt like it was perfect before. It made you
Yeah, it
from
was
a one
perfect.
shot to a two shot. So now you're still a one shot.
So y- you would survive because I think you have 240 health. You would survive a hit from you're not a one shot with this ability active. The problem is it requires you to have your wings
It
locked
was
back
50%
and
before.
so yes,
Okay,
originally the
do
minimum resistance was
50%.
12.5% and the maximum was 50% at the faster you go. Now, in my opinion, you got to keep in
Not
mind
so they don't want to put
that
it back. Just put it to when your wings were swept back to 50% reduced damage.
so I agree with that. It should be back to where it was, and I'll explain why. A lot of people got to keep in mind these are going to be like blueprints. You have to get lucky out of a crate. I don't think there's going to be a magic shop where you can click buy, buy, buy. You got to get lucky. So you're saying all these people have to get lucky enough to get them out of a crate. Then they got to get the silver to buy it, and you got to upgrade it all the way from level 1 all the way to 5. Then you have to lock your wings back. Then you have to fly really fast all for a max level 25% damage resistance on a light fighter.
Yeah,
That's just ridiculous.
I
So
feel like
on
they
the
should
original
leave
one,
left it alone. Yeah,
yeah, so the original one, if you have your wings locked back, if you're flying fast, which means you're way out in the open, sure, they'll give you 50% resistance. But on a light fighter, I think that's balanced. 25% damage resistance, I just on a light fighter, it's not very good. So I think the way it was, because like you gotta understand it's at max level. I think getting not a lot of people are going to get it anywhere to max level anytime soon. 25%. Because here's the thing. So what is level 1 going to be? 7%? And you got to keep in mind that's like 7% or 6% or something. Actually 25%, right? So
yeah, 25%. Yeah.
is it going to be 5% per level cuz 5 times 5 is 25, right? So you're saying let's say level 1 of this passive ability, right? You have to lock your wings back and fly at super fast speeds to get 5% damage resistance at level 1 and then at max 25 that's way too low in my that's kind of a joke in my opinion, especially for what the ability is. It should be 50 cuz you got to consider it's locked back and this is at max speed too. It's not at all speeds. So I think if you're pushing your speed, you're playing out in the open at that speed, it's got to be 50.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's the MiG 23. We'll put a note to put that one back. Um, F4. Your aircraft will slowly recover health back up to a maximum of 45% HP, starting at 1.5 seconds after last damage taken. HP recovers at 5% health per second. I did test this. I don't remember anything on it. I felt like, what do you think, Ace? I don't know. I did test this though, and I just don't remember. I feel like this is underwhelming.
So I actually think it's the opposite. So they did
Okay,
buff it. They did buff it.
they did buff it. Okay,
Um it used to be 33%. So now it's 45. What I really like this is when you use the stress turning and you degrade your health, it will bring your health back. So you will never be under 45% HP. And at max level, that's 153 health. You will always be at 153 health. If you get hurt, you'll heal right back up. So what this means is if a missile hits you, you'll probably die. If you put blast resistance, you could survive a lot of missile hits, except for the big ones that deal 190, 200, 240 damage. But a lot of the smaller missiles, you could actually not die from them. So you could flare, tank the hit, heal, flare, take another hit. So with this one, I think it's balanced. It's good. They should leave it where it's at. Um, and what it allows you to do, like if you're on air sup and you're looping over and over and over and you run out of health, it heals you back up so you can turn more.
Okay.
So,
So it's
and it's
good.
not
Okay.
overpowered because your health will never go above 153.
Okay.
So it allows you to kind of keep turning and, take a little gun damage, flare. So I think this is balanced. It's perfect. Um, yeah, it's right where it needs to be.
All right. So that was F4. We agree with Ace. He knows more than us. So F4. Now, next one is going to be the F1. When you defeat a missile without using a flare, you gain a flare back, and your flare cooldown is reset. I think this is perfect. F1. I was just using this plane right before we started this video, and just running out of flares is really annoying in the F1, especially on AS. F1, I use it mainly on AS, and having that flare, like on a map like Stone Forest, that getting that flare back will be really good. I think this is really good, and it's the same as it was. I believe when I say it's the same, it says I believe. I don't know if they nerfed the cooldown or something, but I felt like this one is perfect. What do you think?
Yeah, I think either a fuel or flare would be good on this plane. So a flare one's not bad. And I also really like this one because I think it only has three flares. I'm
Well,
pretty
we'll
sure it only has
look.
three.
Yeah, we'll look real quick.
Um,
Yep, three
so
flares. Yep.
Yeah, three. So the thing is, when people run out of flares, they always hide behind a rock to dodge missiles. So the cool thing is, when you run out of flares, you can hide behind a rock and then get a flare back. So this makes this plane really good at being like a missile bait plane, where you take missiles, flare them. If you need to flare them, if you don't, if you can, keep hiding behind rocks to recharge them. So, and I also think this with faster flares would be really cool because you get four. So you could put faster flares, which is pairs really well with the special ability. Because if you're flare bait, people are going to chase you down. So then you can use the ability, and with the F1 ability, you're mainly only vulnerable to missiles. But with faster flares, you can spam them. So I like this one. It's
Yeah.
balanced, it's fair, it makes sense. Um, and like I said, imagine if you run out of flares, you're like, oh no, I'm in their spawn, I'm out of flares. What am I gonna do? They fire a bunch of missiles. You go behind a rock, you get another flare.
Yeah.
So I really like this one, especially if you consider like disruptive flares. You can get more of those back, like on air sup. You just hide behind a rock, they fire at spawn, you go under. So I think this is gonna make this plane really strong. I think it's really good for the F1.
Yeah, I think it's really good as well. So we're making notes, guys, to leave them or the ones that we think need to be changed. So next one, JA37, aka the vegan. Well, not AK, but pedal to the metal. As you hold afterburner, your fuel consumption is reduced by 75%. Basically, infinite fuel. I was able to hold my afterburners the entire map, which I really like this on this plane. Really well balanced. It what didn't make the plane OP. It made it, for somebody like me who overuses their afterburners, a really bad habit, a habit I have not been able to break, no matter how hard I try. In a match against, in match against lesser skilled pilots, it's never fuel's never been a problem. In the matches against, the really good pilots, using my fuel has been an issue. So I feel like this is perfect for the plane on the vegan. What do you think?
So I do like this ability. It is strong. I don't think this ability. So here's the thing. If it's really strong in this plane, a little too strong, I feel like this ability would be good on maybe other planes, maybe even like the A6 or the Su-25. So you could just have lots of afterburner for a really long time. The thing about this plane in particular, though, is because of the fuel special, you can have infinite afterburners the whole match. Now, I don't know because they didn't change it. I think the devs are okay with this. I don't know why.
Yeah, we
And
tested it
another,
and it didn't make it OP. It just made it nice
yeah, it doesn't make it too strong. Now, what I will say is the reason this ability is particularly strong on this plane
with the
is
Delta
because
Wing.
let's say, yeah, well, if you put it on like a MiG-21 or any other plane, if you want to turn or touch your brakes, it turns off the afterburner, which resets the ability, which drains it faster, right? But on the VIGGEN, when you hit your brakes, you could have the afterburner on and hit your brakes at the same time. It doesn't reset the ability. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you hit your brakes, you get the reverse thrust and the delta wings. You can make a really hard turn while leaving your afterburners on. So
Yeah.
it makes you completely agile. It makes you fast, infinite, afterburner. Um, and if you time it right with the fuel special, you can infinitely stay under 50%, so your thrust booster can be on the whole time.
No,
So
it's
in my
not under
opinion,
50%. It's as you hold your afterburner.
no, 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 I'm talking about the thrust booster mod.
Oh.
So if you use
Oh,
this
thrust
passive,
booster. Yeah.
yeah, if you
Oh,
time
yeah.
the
You'd have to get rid of your
ability,
fuel first. Yeah. But
yeah,
it's hard to
then
get rid of your fuel though with this ability.
no, no. So it's not that hard because you hold it. If you turn your afterburners off and turn them back on, it'll drain faster. It'll reset and drain faster.
We did try that, and it was almost impossible to get the fuel down below 50%. So maybe we'll have to test that out.
Well, then you could just never use your fuel ability until you're at 1%. It'll take forever.
Yeah.
You can just wait
No, it's
forever.
really good.
Uh,
I don't think it's a good strategy. What Ace is saying, I feel like it's just nice to have that infinite fuel. A lot of times with the vegan, I end up stalled out, right? Because I run out of fuel and I go up or whatever, and I just feel like this is perfect. So, but yeah, no, there's
yeah,
definitely
I do
strategies
like it.
here. Yeah, I
It
like it
didn't
a lot.
feel surprisingly didn't feel overpowered with it.
No, it didn't.
And it really helps me as a mobile player because I'm on glass and I don't have to worry about, you know, turning it on and off. Because for this one, if you swipe to lock it, it will lock forever. Like it'll stay at 0. Now
Yeah,
I can swipe to lock it and go about my day and I'll have to
yeah.
hold the button up. And even with people like now, maybe people like controllers of PCs, they just have to manually hold it down. I don't know if their
Just
fingers
get
will
a
get
piece of
tired or
duct
not. I
tape
don't.
and hold your
Yeah.
fuel down because that's
But
what
what
I
I
said
will
on
say
the
is
live stream.
I it does make it strong, and because the Viggen's not really that fast, it feels good. I
Yeah,
mean, I
I
like
liked
it.
it a lot. Just to be able to just hold the fuel down the whole match, it was nice.
Yeah, I
Which
like
is
it.
what I do. I'm always holding that button down. So, all right. So the vegan's good. We, I don't know if we screenshotted that one. We'll just do it
It might
anyway.
be more balanced if it was like 50 or 65%, but I wouldn't mind leaving it where it's at. It's all
Yeah.
right.
All right. The Su-25. When at or below 50% HP, your top speed increased by 30%. If a missile hit drops you below this threshold, the acceleration is also reduced by 100%. And it's harder for missiles to hit you for 4 seconds. So they added that to it, harder for missiles to hit you for 4 seconds, I believe. Um, I think this is really good on SU-25. You know, this one fits the plane perfectly. The fact is, you know, it's a really strong plane. A lot of the issues with SU-25 is getting low and then trying to evade. So I feel like it's really well balanced on the SU-25. For my personal problems is getting low on health and then not being able to evade. So that increased speed, um, acceleration will help you get away and get to the health to get back into the fight. So what do you think?
So actually, they kept the ability the exact same. They just reworded it a little bit
Okay.
and put a
I knew there was
different
something
picture.
different. It looked different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's worded differently. So the original one was if a missile drops you under the threshold, you gain 100% boost acceleration and a 33% hitbox reduction against missiles. So I feel like they simplified it down instead of telling you 33% hitbox. Now I would prefer 33% hitbox reduction because I like being technical and telling me what's going on versus harder for missiles to hit you. Um, but what that make it basically makes your plane like smaller in terms of where the missile will register the hit. But I think this perfectly suits the plane because when you're in an attack plane, you're taking damage or you win a head on and you're low on health, then you're like, okay, I got to get to that health. Or if an interceptor is attacking you, they hit you with that missile and it'll help you get to that health or the rearm, or it kind of makes you. It just really suits the plane. I think it's perfect where it's at.
Yeah, I agree. So SU-25, we wrote down good. ADV, they did change this one. When you defeat a missile, fuel consumption rate is reduced by 50% for 5 seconds, and you gain 35% of total fuel back. So we did test this one on the live stream. Basically, it's I think it was good. The guns on the ADV before was too OP. The guns on the ADV are already were already too strong. Are already probably too strong. This one is good. It's going to help you with dogfighting and evading. So I like this one on the ADV. The ADV is so OP. It was like trying to find a passive ability to put on the ADV that doesn't make it more OP. You're just getting fuel, right? So what this is going to do is they're really good players in the game who are really good at managing fuel. And again, on the ADV, it's not one of the planes I feel like I always run out of fuel. So I feel like I managed to fuel well on the ADV. So I feel like this is one that's going to help less skilled pilots be better with the ADV, and more skilled pilots are just going to be the same with the ADV. So I feel like this is really well balanced on the ADV. I do like it to get, you evade 2 or 3 missiles, you have all your fuel back, which is really nice. We will test it. Somebody was asking, what does the tow decoy, which I don't believe it will, because it's when you defeat a missile. So the tow decoy is not really defeating a missile. We'll test that, but I feel like this is really good on the ADV. What do you think?
Yeah, I really like it. When I flew it, the tow decoy sometimes worked on this, sometimes didn't. We'll have to test it. There was a time where it did work, so I'm not. Maybe it was on cooldown when it hit the second time. I'm not sure, but I really like it. So the ADV already has a ton of damage. It already has the tow decoy, so you don't want to give it a flare one. It already has a bunch of health. So I do think this is the most like fair and balanced one to give it. But to be
Yes.
fair, it has 18 seconds of fuel, so giving it even more and fuel consumption rate. I think this ability, I think it's a little bit strong. I I don't
Maybe
think it's
like if you,
overpowered.
yeah, I do agree to maybe 20% of your fuel, right? You get
Yeah,
20% of
especially
your
because
fuel
here's
back.
the thing. It already has 18 seconds of fuel, which is a lot. On top of that, you're going to gain 35% of your fuel back, and it reduces the rate for 5 seconds. And the
Yeah.
cooldown is like, I don't even think there's a
Well,
cooldown
I
on this. I
evaded
was
2 or 3 missiles and I got all my fuel back.
Yeah, I evaded a couple missiles and I got all my fuel back, and it reduced the rate. Now, if they leave it where it's at, I'm totally fine with that. It's
Yeah.
good. Like I said, because it's not a flare, health, or damage one, I like it. It's good
Yeah.
where it's at. If they nerfed it a little bit, I wouldn't mind. But right where it's at, it's good. Like I said, I think it works with the decoy, which is really nice. So it allows you to like kind of stay in the air and keep your speed as you're dodging stuff. So I mean, I like it.
Yeah, I like it
Definitely
too.
better than double gun
And
damage.
when I was thinking about this one, so when we were live streaming after the live stream, I really thought a long time about this one. And I was thinking, like, guys like Grim, the best players in the game, are really well at managing fuel. So this is going to make them equal in the ADV, and it's going to make guys like me who overuse my fuel, and guys like you who maybe, overuse your fuel or not good as Grim is managing fuel, have that, balance, versus better skilled pilots. So that's why I said in the beginning, I feel like the best pilots in the game, this is going to keep the ADV the same, and it's going to help the lesser skilled pilots. So I felt like this was really good on the ADV. All right. So the next one is the F-111. This is one of the ones that was bugged, so we'll have to test this one. But shake it off. When your wings are swept forward, you won't take more than 40% of your maxed health. So basically, if your wings are not swept back, you know, your max health and damage. I'll let Ace describe this one because I'm still a little confused. It was supposed to take less than 40% of your damage, but we'll let Ace take that one all away.
So with this one, it
I have no
works.
opinion on this, so that's why I'm letting you let you go
Yeah,
take
so
it
so
away.
I like this ability and it works. I kind of wish they ignored the wings, like don't bother if they're swept forward or back. Because like if you're climbing and they missile spam you, it'd be nice to take less damage. Or if you're diving for a rearm or diving for health, it'd be nice to take less damage. Especially because it's weird because on the flogger, if your wings are locked back, that's how you engage your damage resistance. On this one, you have to open your wings like wide open to get the damage resistance. So it's a little bit weird that they kind of did the opposite. But when your wings are open and you're slow and you're firing missiles, it takes 3 missile hits to kill you. So I like this. It's a
And
little bit confusing though because they nerfed the aardvark health a couple months ago, and now they're kind of rebuffing it. We'll have to test this one because I'm pretty sure it'll tank a nuke if your wings are spread out. Um, so I think this is really, really good because interceptors, the problem with interceptors are they get missile spammed. So
yeah,
with this one, it guarantees, like if a MiG-31 shooting at you or a J-20, it'll take minimum 3 to kill you.
and
So it's gonna help.
I agree with you. I'm going to put a note here, make it if the wings are swept back or not, like Ace said, because the fact that these are going to be, most people aren't taking the F-111 to 20, right? And the fact is, since these are going to be level 12 or higher, then it's just going to be, everybody's going to take it to 20, right? Unless, now maybe the game, level 12s will be a thing in the game now instead of, either 11 or 20, right? I have a feeling 12s is going to be it. Like, so right now you play either 1 to 3, 8 to 11, or you play 20s. That's like the target lineup. Like, we don't like when people fly, a 5 or, I mean, if you're flying a 7, that's fine, in an 8 to 11, that's fine. But mainly we want people to either be 1 to 3, 8 to 11. We don't want somebody in a 12 with our 8 to 11 party pull 16s, or you're in 20s. We don't want a 16 in our 20 parties if you can avoid it. So maybe level 12s will become a new thing. And so, yes, I agree with Ace. But even at 20s, yeah, like Ace said, the wing sweat forward or back makes sense. Like you said, if you're climbing, at least you can, you know, get straightened out and maybe evade versus once you get locked on and lit up when you're climbing, you're just pretty much automatically dead. So I feel like that'll help the newer pilots who go up and don't know any better. Like, we're like, oh, this F-111's going up. Oh, he's cooked, because I feel like it'll help the newer pilots more than it'll help the skilled pilots if they do it with the wings. So we made a note, make it with the wings swept back or forward. So, all right. And that's the F-111. You got anything else on the F-111?
Um, no, like I said, I think making interceptors not as easy to wipe out is a good thing. If
Yeah.
they leave it where it is, I won't be mad. But like I said, if you're climbing or diving, it would be nice to also get that resistance. But
All right. So this one was bugged before, I believe, the F-14 when flying at high altitude. Missile lock range increased by 1,000 meters. Now, we weren't able to test this one and see if it's still bugged. Basically, when we tested it the first time, it was anywhere on the map. You were able to lock. It's only supposed to be 1,000 meters, which is 1 kilometer. So instead of 12, you have a 13 range. I feel like that's good, a good ability on it. I felt like it was fixed. Um, and like when we tested it in the live stream, it was kind of like the 3 guys were in range, and that one guy that was just out of range, I was able to hit my multi-fire on them, basically 2 seconds earlier than I were for waiting for that 4th guy to get in the range. So I feel like this is good for the F-14. Um, you know, Before, my opinion was nobody's flying the F-14 high, but and the higher you go, the better the range was. It seemed like, if I remember correctly. But I feel like this is good on the F-14. What do you think, Ace?
I think it's the perfect ability for the F-14, especially because it also works with the IRs, which is really convenient. So it kind of helps it because when you go up, you're going to get missile spammed a lot. So it's nice to be able to shoot some missiles out. But another thing is, what I really like about it is it's now the first plane that can outrange all the other planes. So you know how like when 2 like interceptors go up, they have the same lock range, right? Which for me is 7.5 miles. For you, it's 12 kilometers, I think. So the thing is, you both are kind of inching closer and closer until you both lock at the same time, right? And then you both kind of have to flare and fire missiles all at the same time. With this one, you can now outrange all the planes. You can outrange aardvarks, you can outrange MiG-31s, you can outrange J-20s, or F-14s if they're too low. So if you fire a missile, make the F-14 go low, you flying higher will outrange the F-14 flying lower. So what I really like about this is, it's almost like it's like 10% stealth to other planes with you when this is active because you could outrange everything else, kind of. So like other interceptors, you could shoot them, but they can't shoot you. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
really like this. So you could start firing your first missile, second missile. So when you're firing, if you hold your brakes to keep your distance, when you're firing your third missile, that MiG-31 or Aardvark is going to be firing the first one. Then you could dive and flare. Now they're screwed. So I think this is perfect. I also think it's balanced because you have to go up and expose yourself for it to work. So I think it's perfect, right where it needs to be, especially because it also works in the IRs. So it's perfect.
All right. So that was the F-14. And a MiG-29. When you get hit by a missile, disappear from enemy radar for 6 seconds. I thought it was 4 before. And gain 20% increase to top speed and 100% increased acceleration for 5 seconds. So I believe that's different, right, than it was before. I like that on the MiG-29. I like this ability on the MiG-29, but we'll let Ace discuss more of it.
So for this one, it used to be it wasn't very specific. Now, of course, that was the first iteration. So I actually kind of recommended that they are more detailed with the description, and they did that. So shout out to the devs. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
But originally it was 30% top speed and 60% acceleration. Now it's 20% top speed, 100%, which is fair. So you get up to speed really, really fast. 20%, okay, that's pretty good. And also it gave a little bit more numbers. So 6% for the speed. Hold on. Disappear from radar for 6 seconds, 5 seconds for the speed, and then immune to enemy missile locks for 3 seconds. Now, when I tested this, and we'll have to test it, when I tested it, other missiles that were coming towards me like turned off, like they got like stopped, so defeated. So we'll have to try it out because I think this defeats other missiles, which is really cool. So
Yeah, I really like it. Yeah, I really like it on the MiG-29
because it's really practical. So if you're on air sup, you're trying to get to the point, you got thrust booster, and you run out of flares, or they fire missiles too fast, you get hit by a missile. You zoom to the point, and when it says disappear from enemy radar, it basically means it arc pulses the whole team for 6 seconds.
Yeah, which
it's
is good.
Very strong
Because it's not one a lot of guys are using on air sup, and
Yeah,
it makes it gives you another plane to use on air sup now.
yeah, and you don't appear on the HUD either. You can't see it. It just like turns literally to a ghost, which is really, really cool. Especially because this plane has a lot of fuel. It has fuel tanks. It has a fuel special ability. And so, like I said, if you put some thrust booster on there, maybe disruptive flares. So if you get hit, like, so in a head on, if you get hit by a missile, now it's harder to see. They can't missile lock you, and disruptive flares. It's almost like an arc pulse disruptive flare combo. So I think this will be really strong in head ons because they can't lock you.
It's going to make the MiG-29 OP versus just an average.
Maybe.
No, but I'm saying it's going to put it in that class of, with it. It's going to put it up there. So taking the MiG-29, when I say that, let me rephrase that. MiG-29 is just an average plane right now. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just an average plane. It's not bad to fly, but it's not low. I think this is going to put it up there with this passive. We'll put it in that top 10 range, category of planes. So take it from like mid-range to top tier. That's just my opinion.
I mean, it depends on the cooldown. It doesn't say it has a cooldown. It might not. So I think it is going to make it really strong. Like I said, if you're trying to go to air sup or you're trying to, I don't think they're going to bring elimination back. Hopefully they do. But if they do bring elimination back, it'll be a cool way to get to the control ring at the end. And, maybe if you're trying to get to the health and you get hit, it'll help you boost the health or get to the rearm better. I think this is a really, really good ability, and it's on a right plane. It's on a plane that needed a lot of help, and this is a really strong one. So I really like it.
Yeah, I really like it as well. All right, so that was the MiG-29. We are halfway through. F-16. We did test this one, and it worked great. So it was bugged before while turning hard. So you got to be basically evading enemy aim assist. Enemy aim assist against you is reduced by 80%. So they can still hit you. So unfortunately, against Grim, and guys who shoot through aim assist, it's gonna, kind of hurt. But it's definitely gonna help. The F-16s, I like this, because F-16 is already really good at evading. anyway. So, and F-16 is really OP now. Well, not OP. When I say OP, it's a really good plane, especially on air sub, and it's going to help you. You know, there wasn't much you can do to the F-16 to, you know, to like to without like there wasn't a passive that you can give it without making it. If you gave it stronger guns, now the F-16 is like overpowered. If you gave it more missiles or stronger missiles or aim, you know, anything like, you know, maybe a fuel one on the F-16 might have been made it less OP, but I mean, me personally, I like the fact that it makes you harder to hit with guns. It doesn't really make the F-16, you know, it's a really well balanced on F-16 is what I'm saying. But we'll see what Ace thinks.
So I really like it on this plane. I think it fits. It's not too strong. Um, and so the original description, which I don't think they nerfed it or buffed it, but it was
No, we tested it and it didn't work. Oh, the original
uh
scripture, I mean, yeah, it was bugged before.
okay.
It
So we'll
didn't
have to
work.
we'll
We tested
yeah,
it.
after
Yeah, I
the
tested it
one
on the live stream. It worked.
yeah,
According to
we'll
the other
test it.
guy, yeah.
Yeah, we'll test it, and because I kind of want to see for myself. But so it was a little bit more descriptive before. Like I said, I prefer specifics, but you know it's
What
fine
it
if it's
did was
simple.
it turned the aim assist reticle off when you
Yeah.
were turning hard. So like you can still kill the plane. Now maybe when I tested it the first time, the guy that was trying to kill me was really good at shooting through reticle, and he didn't tell me that. So
Well, yeah.
the guy that was trying to kill me was able to just blast me out of the sky. So again, it doesn't make you unkillable. It just turns aim assist off, which is almost like if you're disruptive flaring, right? So you can still kill the F-16. You just got to shoot at the plane. So like I said, against Grim, looking at this ability is going to, like, Grim already shoots through disruptive, right? They already shoot through disruptive flares is what I'm trying to say. So this is one of those that's going to make you, you know, stronger against other opponents, and it's not going to help. You know, it might make it harder to kill Grim in it. So, but it's not going to help. And I base a lot of these upon Grim. How's this going to help if Grim gets this? Is it going to make it way too OP'd if a Grim Reaper has this passibility on the plane? And so far, there's not many that I feel like if Grim, you know, it's not going to make it to the point where a 5 stack of Grim Reapers are now going to go from being 95% unbeatable to 100% unbeatable. So I feel like this one's really good. It's going to help the newer and lower players, and it's that's just me personally. I feel like it didn't make the F-16 is really OP right now. When I say OP, I mean it's really good. So that's just me.
Yeah, the old description was if you reach 85% of your max turn rate. So it doesn't say that here. I'm assuming they kept it the same. It just says when turning hard. Like again, I like specifics. So if anyone's curious, um, just 85% of your turn rate
It
or
seemed
higher.
like when
Basically,
you were basically in a full turn, they lost the
yeah, basically
reticle.
just turn as hard as you can, and then
Yeah,
you have to
yeah, we'll
hold
test
it
it.
though. So you have to hold it for a while. Then it takes like a second or two to turn on, and then yeah. So I like this for looping points on air sup. You can kind of use
Yeah,
disruptive flares combined with this. Actually, I might consider attempting faster flares
yeah, because
because
now you
if
already
it,
have it, yo.
we'll see how well it does because disruptive flares
It
still
does. It's
interrupts a
really
lot.
well. When we tested it on the live stream, the guy I was out in the open had 3 of them on me, and I was just turning hard, and they had to kill me with missiles. They weren't able to kill me with guns, so which was nice. On the live stream, I was right out in the open. I wasn't trying to I wasn't using cover or anything, and he just kept saying I keep losing the reticle. Like he would gain
Yeah,
the
when
reticle, and then
I
I turn, he would lose it.
yeah
So
when I tried this, it didn't. I didn't feel a difference. So I'll
yeah, it
test it with you
definitely
in a
there's
little
a
bit,
difference
and
now.
we'll
Yeah, we'll
see.
test it for you guys. Like I said, I'm not sure. We might even live stream this, but it'll either be in a live stream or a video that we're going to test some of these ones. I forgot. Like, are you writing down the ones you wanted to test? Because I haven't wrote down the last few that we said we were going to test.
No, I can start writing them down.
I've been writing them down. Like I forget which ones he said we were going to test, but yeah, it's basically I guess we'll test all the ones we made notes on. If we said they were good, we didn't have to test them. But I know the M.III we were going to test, the MiG-21 we were going to test, and the J35 we were going to test. And
I don't think we have to test the J35. Well, you can. I
no,
think
I
it's
mean we don't have to test it. I was just saying the ones we put
yeah.
notes on. But yeah, so we'll test. Like I said, we'll test the ones that were broken before, like the F111. We can test that one just for you guys because you guys never got to see them. So all right, so that was the F16. Let me take it
But I
off the
think the
screen.
F-16 is where it should be. I like it.
Yeah, I think the F-16 is good. Like I said, it's one of those planes that's not going to help Grim at all because they already shoot through the red like disruptive flares and everything anyway. So, and that's how I could base these upon. Is it going to make me, you know, is it going to make it with Grim having them? Are they going to be like unstoppable now? They're already unstoppable, but I mean, where you'll never win against them. So, all right, the J10 combo strike. When you hit an enemy with cannons, you gain 30% missile damage bonus against all enemies for 4 seconds. Is that different? Or I mean, I like this one,
No,
the
it's the
J10.
it's
So
the exact same.
okay, so yeah, I like the J10 one. It doesn't make the J10 OP, and now, like I said, basically it'll just help. Like if you're already basically what this one does is, let's say you're behind somebody and they're just automatically dead. And you're doing your work. It instead of taking a whole second to kill them, now you can kill them in half a second, 3/4 of a second. That's the way I look at it, and so it'll get you off for one enemy onto the next one quicker. So I really like this one on the J10. What do you think, Ace?
So I like it. It works. I like it. Nothing's wrong with it. I do think they should swap them to where if you get a hit with your missiles, your guns deal more damage because the guns are like tied with the MiG-21, weakest damage in the whole game. And the thing is, your missiles hit before your guns. So for me, by the time you're already in gun range, I feel like I don't know. It would be better if you hit him with a missile than your guns dealt more damage. But it's okay where it's at. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's just when you're on them, right? When you're on somebody, a lot of times with the J10, what I noticed is the gun, like Ace said, the guns don't do enough damage. So you're on somebody, you're shooting at them, you hit them with that missile, hit them with that second missile because the missiles don't do a lot of damage either, but they fire really fast, and it seems like they get away with 5 health because the second. So I feel like it when we tested it the first time, you could kill them with 1 or 2 missiles versus 3 missiles. So now you got 4 missiles right on J10, I believe, 4 heat seekers. Yeah, 4 heat seekers. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of times it takes me 3 missiles to kill somebody, and now I only have 1 heat seeker, and the blues don't fire when somebody's turning hard and you're shooting them with guns. So I feel like this is really good on the J10. Just you can either hit them with guns and then the 1 missile kills them, or if you have to fire that second one to finish them off, you don't end up having to waste that 3rd missile just to kill somebody. So for me personally, I like it where it's at. I do agree with Ace that making it, cannon damage when you hit them with a missile probably makes sense. And I think I'm going to write a note here to swap that. Swap to, and I'll finish right now while Ace is talking on the next one. So that is the combo strike on the J10. Anything else on the J10?
Yeah, so I think it definitely suits it because damage was the number one thing it lacked in. So I really like that they did this damage one. If they leave it, that's all right. But I do think it would be kind of cool to almost like finishing guns. So you get a hit with the missile and you close in for that gun kill. I think that would be really cool. Um, but the way it is now, it'll help with head-ons, so it's not bad. I like it.
Yeah. All right. So that's the J10. The next one is the MiG-31, Mike's favorite plane. So slowly regenerate 50% of damage taken after 4 seconds if no further damage is taken. Exactly the same. Um, you know, I don't. My personal opinion, not a. I feel like me personally, this would be better. Slowly regenerate. I know Ace is going to disagree with me. He liked this one before. I feel like maybe just give it instantly, like regenerate up to 50% damage, and then just have a cooldown on it instead of slowly. Because when you get hit with that missile, and then you get hit with that second missile. Now you're up in the air with the MiG-31, you're just gonna die. So I feel like maybe like so with faster flares, like they fire four at you, right? You can take one hit, dodge two, or with regular flares. I mean, let me rephrase that. You can take a hit, flare one, then the third one hits you, then you flare one, then the fourth one kills you. This could make it to where you flare the first one, the second one hits you, you flare the third one, or the second and third one hits you, depending on what's shooting at you. And, it could just make it survive versus with some of the other passives, I feel like other interceptors shooting at you. And what I'm picturing in my mind, so you guys see what I'm talking about. Let's say you're facing another interceptor on Stone Forest, and you guys decide to launch everything at each other. If there's one interceptor and you're an interceptor, your job is to take out the other interceptor. And I feel like, let's say you're playing A211s, which is not going to be A211, but let's say you're playing level 12, right? There's no mods on there. You fire the F-14 already has the rain advantage on you, so he's going to be able to fire before you can fire, right? So he's going to fire a missile before you can even fire a missile. Then he's going to fire the second missile as you're firing your first missile, and he's going to fire the third missile as you're firing your second missile. So now his second, you're going to flare one, and then the second, third missile is just going to kill you because it's if no further damage is taken. So I feel like this one, and I'm sorry to give the long description, I feel like this one needs to be, 50% less damage from the first missile, or, I don't know. What do you think, Ace? I just feel like this one is not going to be as helpful as and this is based upon going against another interceptor. What do you think, Ace?
So I like this ability. In the long run, it kind of feels like you just take 50% less damage, like
Yeah, but you
from
slowly
taking it.
regenerate that damage.
Yeah, I know, but let's say you take a missile hit, you heal half of it back. Take a missile hit, heal half of it back. Feels like you're cutting all the damage in half. Now it does slowly generate. That's for balancing, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's good where it is,
All
so
right.
that you know when you're like in a MiG-31, right? And you're flying and you shoot a bunch of missiles at their interceptor, they shoot at you, and you flare the first one and the second one hits you, but they're dead. You're like, dang it, like you hate it and whatever. But it kind of is like, sure, you took the hit, but as you're rearming, as you're healing, as you're climbing back up, you heal.
Okay.
So I like this one because it'll make you feel like you don't have to go to the health as much, which really
Okay.
slows you down and hurts you.
Yeah.
So I think it's very, very similar to the Aardvark one. So with this one, I mean I like it because you don't have to like I said, you don't have to go to the health all the time. So it'll make you feel like all you have to do is go to the rearm. It won't be the worst thing in the world to take a hit because you can heal back from it. So I think it's balanced and fair in my opinion.
All right. So we won't even put a note on that because we trust Ace's opinion. So he knows more than we do about this type of stuff. So that was to make 31. The Hornet FA-18. Damage an enemy, marks them on your HUD. Gain a 20% missile damage bonus and a 20% missile lock bonus against your marked target. Um, this is the same, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong, but I felt like this one, if it's the same when we tested it, was really good. What do you think, Ace? FA-18.
So they didn't nerf it or buff it. It's where it is. It's the same.
Okay.
They simplified the text, which is fine. So the way it originally read was when you damaging an enemy gives you awareness of them through terrain. The lock speed and damage is boosted by 20% to the locked target, and this benefit remains until the target is defeated or switches upon damaging another enemy. So I think this is balanced, fair, it works. And the thing is, it works instantly. So let's say you're in a head on, you damage someone, you instantly gain 20% missile damage and lock time. So in a head on, it helps you lock faster and deal more damage. So I like this one. So in an emergency, it helps with a head on, or if someone's just getting away, you can chase him down. I do think it would pair a little bit better on a different plane, but this is one of the stronger ones, so giving it to the Hornet is nice. What would be
Yeah,
really
because
cool
the Hornet
though,
is shitted anyway. So.
yeah, what would be really cool, and I would really like this, is the awareness on your HUD goes to everybody, but the extra damage only goes to you. That would be really cool. So you kind of marking someone for death. I think that'd be really cool. So your whole team could be like, okay, that guy was marked. Let's go after him. Now, where it is, it's balanced. It's good. It's balanced. It's fine. I do think it would really encourage team play. And because the Hornet is one of the weakest planes in the game, like top 3 worst planes, it would really help bring it up if, like I said, if only the awareness part, the marked part, goes to everybody. Maybe only for a little bit. Like, it goes to everyone for like 5 seconds or something. I think that'd be really, really cool for like encouraging teamwork.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I like this to make the Hornet. It's good on the Hornet. I'm glad they didn't mess with that one. And the Hornet's not one of the Hornet's not a good one of the good. It's one of the worst planes in the game. So to give that damage bonus and to mark them is good for the Hornet. I really like that. So all right, the JF-17. They did change this one. This is one of our recommendations, guys. The first 2 seconds of your cannon fire have a 50% cannon damage bonus. This is perfect on the JEF. This is what we suggested to them. This was one of the things, like, guys, I had the Deb's personal ear. I was like, if anything, the JEF before was fuel. Absolutely does not need fuel. It's waste. The problem with the JEF is you almost get somebody dead, then your guns are about to overheat, so you have to let off. This is perfect on the JEF. I love this one. One of the ones that I think doesn't make the JEF OP and kind of fixed the JEF from where it was. So that's just my opinion. What do you think, Ace?
Yeah, so I completely agree.
I don't know if you tested it yet, but it's nice.
I did test it. It is nice. One of the things is the overheat time's 2.5 seconds. The ability lasts 2 seconds. So really, it's almost just a basic 50% gun damage boost. Basically,
it's like having finishing guns almost on your JEF without the mod.
It's really strong, and the damage is better than an M2K, and it has medium armor piercing. The M2K does not. The only difference is the gun range is less than the M2K, but again, it deals a lot of damage. I will say
it's gonna help with head-ons because you don't win head-ons with the JEF anyway.
Perfect for head-ons. Oh yeah. The one thing that I will say you have to be careful is I'm used to like tap firing with this plane, like with this gun. So you kind of tap, hold it a little bit, hold so you don't overheat. Because the overheat time is a couple seconds. If you overheat it, it's 10 seconds.
So if you've trained yourself that, I think there's a cooldown. So you if you tap it, you're gonna. We did test it on live stream. You're gonna lose it.
Cooldown's 8 seconds. So if you shoot one bullet, it activates that 8-second cooldown. So the thing is, you want to wait for the reticle to show up, then click and hold it, and just never let it go. Maybe you might want to let it go right before it overheats. Like a second.
Well, that's how I fire now. I fire until my guns are about to overheat. I don't tap them. So that's going to help somebody like me.
It will take a little bit of like skill, a little bit of learning with it, but this is it. It suits the plane because damage was its weakness. The gun was its weakness. Suits the plane, works well, really helps with head-ons and the attack planes. So I think this is one of the best decisions that they did.
Yeah, and don't worry, all the stuff I'm clicking on, I know you're watching, they can't see that. So I'm just making sure I'm not double screenshotting these planes. Ace is probably like, what is this guy? I'm clicking on a bunch of stuff, guys, and you can't see it. So I just wanted Ace to know that. All right, so that's the JEF. I really like this on the JEF. This was one of the suggestions. The guns, the cooldown on the guns the overheat was just way too soon, and this trying to kill somebody with the JEF was so annoying. You just don't like. This is perfect. One of the. Now I'm not going to say it's one of the best passive abilities. It's one of the ones that, like, it fits the plane perfect. It's like exactly what the plane needed. And it gave the plane. A lot of them do that, but I'm saying this one gave it exactly what it needed. Now, it maybe 1 second, and I don't hate me for saying that, but I love it at 2. I'm saying, like, so if it's too OP, then don't change it. Just make it like 1.5. Please, devs, if you watch this, it's perfect where it is. If you have to nerf it, I'm saying, take just the time of your cannon fire. Or the damage for 2 seconds. Maybe if you take it to 40 or something. I'm saying if you have to nerf it, please. This was perfect. Don't change this. They changed it from fuel to this. let's leave it for the guns. So
Yeah, because it has the expert cannons trait, the aim assist is reduced a little bit. And if you overheat it, the overheat time is 10 seconds, which is really long, and the gun range isn't the best. So I it's
yeah.
balanced where it's at. It's
And with
perfect. I
disruptive
tested it.
flares, like you got to keep it the same. So this is just we're not saying this to you guys watching. This is to like if a dev's watching this or somebody who has influence, and they say this is way too strong. We're just trying to say to keep in mind with disruptive flares. Now you're only going to get like 50% or 50%, 1 second of that time or half a second of that time to actually get that increased damage. So I think that's perfect. So next one, SU-27. You guys watched my passive ability videos when I was going 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. I really like this. The fewer missiles you have left, the more maneuverable your aircraft becomes. Now, just real quick, did they change this to 50%, 15%, or is this the same, Ace?
So they did change it. Originally, as you lost missiles, once you got to 0, you would have 20% more turn rate and 20% less deceleration while turning.
Okay, so we'll have to test this again. So me and Ace actually were talking, we were playing, and he was like, "Dude, I can outturn you in F-16, or I can escape from F-16." And I said, "No, you can't," because I tested this, and he actually was able to. I wasn't able to kill him. So I really liked this before, and if they changed it, we're gonna have to test it. I felt like where this was after me and Ace did that video, I said, "Oh, I'll bet you $100,000," and he would have won. I really like it. Now, again, you had to have no missiles left, but you could take this SU-27 and air sub, waste all your missiles, and just loop a point. So, without killing anybody. So, what do you think, Ace? Should they have left it where it was? I feel like they should have not messed with it.
I think they should have left it because I think the Su-27 is definitely on the lower end of performing planes, definitely on the really far low end because those manual missiles aren't that good. Now agility is one of the things it lacked, so giving that is a good thing. I would
Yeah.
say they should have left it because the deceleration was really nice from turning, and the turn rate was 20. And I think some people said it was too strong because it was like higher than an F-16. But I think you also have to take into account the ideal turn speed. The turn radius was much wider. Like it literally has a higher ideal turn speed than the Raptor, has higher ideal turn speed than the GR3, one of the higher ideal turn speeds. So what that means is the turn radius is so wide. The turns are really wide. So the extra turn rate, even if it goes higher than F-16, it's not going to outturn the F-16. So I think they should have left it, especially because, like I said, a lot of people say, "Oh, 20% is too high." Some people in the test servers, "Oh, 20% is too high." You gotta understand, you gotta get lucky with the blueprints. You gotta upgrade it to all the way to max level. Then you gotta shoot 8 of your missiles, and now you have no missiles. Probably use some flares up, by that point. And so at max level, after you use all your missiles, I would expect it to be higher. Um, because like I said, so it's at 15%, right? That's max level, no missiles. So what is it at level 1? 3%? Because there's 5 levels. 3 times 5 is 15.
Yeah.
So let's say level 1 is 3% turn rate bonus, right? Well, guess what? What if you only fire 1 or 2 missiles? If your max is 3 at level 1 and you only fire 1 or 2 missiles, you're getting like 0.8% extra turn rate. So like or level 2 or level 3 on the ability, you might only gain like a tiny tiny fraction of using so I think this is underwhelming. you know
We're going to put a note to put it back to where it was.
yeah, I think
I
the
liked it where it
Su-27,
was.
yeah, the Su-27 is a very underperforming jet. It's not good at dealing damage, not good at turning. It's not good at staying alive. I mean, it has the heal special, but I don't know. I
I
think it's
felt like it was
underwhelming.
good where it was, and it made it 227. I felt like, all right, this is going to make the Su-27 be able to get away from people as after you run out of missiles. Where if you run out, I mean, in the Su-27, you're either trading or you're launching all your missiles, and then you're dying trying to get away. So I felt
Yeah,
like
and
that was perfect.
I think it's perfect. Even if they made it like a really ridiculous number, like 30% higher turn rate, because you have no missiles.
Yeah, you
You're not a
can't. You're
threat.
not. You're just
The
trying to get away.
Yeah, the worst thing you can do is shoot some guns, but the gun damage isn't that good. It's
Yeah,
okay. It's got medium RPs. It's okay. It's not great. But the thing is, you're not that much of a threat if all you have is guns.
yeah.
So for me, I think they should have left it
And
because at
we'll put a
max
note for them
level,
to leave it. Yeah,
yeah, because it takes time to get it to max level. Then it takes time during the match to get it all the way down to 0 missiles.
yeah,
You're not that much of a threat. So I would say it would be cool because, y- you're trading the damage for agility, but right now, it just, I feel like you would barely even notice it in the middle of the match. It's too low. And plus most of the time, once you get low, you rearm anyways. I feel like no one's gonna really use this because no one's gonna want to get to 0 and fly around if you can't deal damage and it's not that big of a bonus. You know what I mean?
all right.